guys, it's Marshall here with day 5, talking about self-love and self-care. Basically, what we're going at here is the idea of how we care for ourselves. What is self-love? What does this look like? How does it behave? Why is it there? And really the big difference between people who are struggling with self-love deficit disorder or codependency and those who have resilient confidence and self-love. What's the difference? A lot of times people think that those other people, the people with self-love and confidence and stuff, are naturally that way. They were fortunate or blessed, or it was deliberate, or they were born with it. A lot of times, it's not that. What I found is that people with resilient self-confidence and love come from a background where they were taught to see themselves, or what I call emotionally associate with themselves with love. So when they think about themselves, they don't feel shame or disgust or insecurity or inferiority or confusion most of the time. I mean, they do feel those things, but they're at a smaller percentage than feeling confident and love. And they also have a habit of, oh, if I'm feeling the shame or guilt or confusion or small, they have a plan in place. They have a habit that returns them back to their confidence, back to loving themselves, and back into self-nurture and soothing. So this habit they have, this association they have, that they feel about themselves is the difference. And that's because of the way they've been conditioned to associate with themselves here and in here. People who struggle with codependency, self-love deficit disorder, shame and anxiety, and smallness and inferiority and insecurity, they've developed an association with themselves to feel that way about themselves. When they think about themselves, they're all like, oh, you know, they don't have that warmth and reception and acceptance of themselves. They have repulsion and judgment and reservation and resistance and shame. And that's because of how they've been scripted here by the feedback they've gotten from their trusted authorities or intimate partners, parents, God, things like that. And they've internalized that as, oh, that's the truth about me, so that's how I speak to myself. So their inner critic has taken on the voices of other people. The codependent has not realized that their inner voice is not actually theirs. It's their trusted authority's voice. And that their inner voice is actually more compassionate and kind and loving and nurturing. And this inner voice can be nurtured and brought out in us by using deep relaxed states plus meditation plus specific phrases. And you'll notice in the PDF with this day, it's attached to this day, is 10 specific phrases that were discovered in research that moms communicate verbally and non-verbally to their children. And so I've created a program around these phrases that helps us relax and get into them. Some of those phrases are different, some of them will be the same. And so they help us begin to nurture both our self-talk scripts and our self-emotional scripts, basically. And this begins to shift our emotional association with ourselves from contempt and criticism and judgment and shame to love and self-care and self-concern and respect and advocacy and efficacy. It starts that shift. It's not the only thing involved in that shift, but it helps start laying the essential foundation of rewriting how we talk to ourselves and how we see ourselves. Because when we talk about self-love, we are talking about how we experience ourselves, how I feel when I think about myself. Because self-esteem is felt. It's not an argument in the head so much that I like myself. No, it's I feel like about myself. I feel love about myself. I feel care about me. And let that settle in for a moment. Because that's a big deal. That's a big shift. Reorienting ourselves emotionally is the whole goal. And there's a lot to this. And this isn't going to happen today. It's not going to happen in one fell swoop. This is a process. And in the PDF, I've outlined the emotional association steps. And part of that is learning how to treat ourselves, what the actions of self-love look like, and then the self-talk, and a framework that allows it to nurture and to grow. The other component is beginning to dig into our story, digging into what would be called a core wound, or those core emotional associations that have defined our identity to ourselves and have stuck us in the patterns we're stuck in and have created these results, these reactions we live with and think are normal. That's the deeper work. And that work is not covered in this PDF. It's covered in the other programs, such as the Approval Junkie program, or the Art of Being Badass, or personal work, things like that, or emotion mastery. We all begin to touch on that, but those core wounds are not part of this specific program. This idea, though, bringing us back to self-love so we can discover it, is about becoming awakened to what was not there in our lives, especially in our childhood or those abusive situations and relationships we may have suffered in. Because what wasn't there matters. Because that is part of the journey. And what wasn't there for most people is warmth about who they are, reception about who they are, love about who they are, being liked, for God's sakes. I mean, a lot of times we're out there trying to get love, be loved, or we want to be loved, or we want to love. But being liked, being wanted, you're like, I am so happy you exist. I want you in my life. I like that you're here. This is a vital message we didn't get. We instead got, my God, you're a burden. Stop that. And we're like, I'm a burden. What's wrong with me? Why am I like this? I hate this. I'm stupid. I'm wrong. I have to change me. No, not at all. The error in that situation is the parents' feedback. They are wrong. And we have to come to terms with that. We have to come to terms with the reality that the parents we had are not the parents we deserved, and not the parents we thought we had. There's grief in that. And it's not our fault. That can feel powerless for a lot of people. It's an important thing to consider. The freedom it gives us, though, when we truly accept that who I am didn't cause my parents to be the way they were. Something in them was broken. And that's not mine to fix. It's not mine to change. We can love ourselves. And then in that we can begin to comfort ourselves because we ally with our pain. See, a lot of times in this experience of abuse, we are made an enemy to ourselves. Our feelings are here. And we're like, get away, they're bad, boom, boom, boom. Gotta eliminate these things. These are a problem. And so we become divided. The way this is resolved is by allying, becoming one with our feelings. It's like, oh, I'm okay feeling angry about how they treated me, because actually how they treated me hurt me. And I don't appreciate that behavior. I don't deserve to be hurt, and I won't tolerate that anymore. We're starting to stand up for ourselves, advocate for ourselves. I'm sad. I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to ask for comfort. I'm going to bring comfort. I'm going to give myself self-soothing touch and talk and action and kindness. Rather than, I'm a piece of shit because I feel this shame or this sadness and I don't deserve love. The critical self-thought gets smaller and the loving self-thought gets bigger. This is how we begin to learn how to care for ourselves. And there's quite a bit of dimension in this. This is a starting point. So I want you to check out the PDF. I want you to review the resources and begin looking at how you can care for yourself. What is one action every day you can do to praise yourself? What wants your attention? And what does it need? And then you can start to figure out how to provide that. Use the resources in the PDF to get connected to yourself again and begin to awaken from that dissociated state or the numb state back into the validity of your own emotions, your own experience, and that you deserve to be on your side. And then we can start choosing people that do naturally by their own volition be on our side. And this gets us more support. It gets us that network, protection and love and nurture and encouragement, accountability. That bring us greater sense of belonging, love, and value. And we can begin working on that core wounds so we can break into self-love and out of that self-judgment. And that's the magic here, because that's where self-love flourishes. So, okay, thank you guys. If you have questions, comment below or comment in the groups. Thank you for being a part of this journey. We have 2 more days in this, and I hope that it's been of value to you. And if you have, let me know how it's been for you. Respond to the email or comment below. Okay, guys? Thank you. We'll talk tomorrow. Bye-bye.